Okay, quick, one-word answer. Who you got for the game? Can you say this as a media member? Unbiased or something? Is it like a law?
It's a win-win for me because I played for both teams.
Yeah, you do.
Marta.
What? You said that one time. 100% of the population.
Okay.
Just kidding. She's on our team.
Okay.
Welcome back to A Touch More. We are back in the studio after an amazing weekend down in Kansas City for the NWSL Championship. We recorded A Touch More live on the eve of the final. Shout out to Google Pixel for making that happen. You're going to hear all of that in a moment. But before we get there, what were some of your highlights from the live show?
Oh,
Tease
gosh.
it. Give us a tease. Give the people a tease.
Well, just being back in performance mode. I was really excited about it. Obviously, we don't get to perform in front of an audience and like get the juice anymore. So that was so fun. Just like having so many people in real life that we'd never get to see anymore. You know, a lot of teammates, obviously, but my old coach Laura Harvey was there. Just like feeling that energy was really fun. I mean, just like cracking up. I feel like I had such a great time. We went like 30 minutes over.
Naturally. We actually didn't go that far over, but yeah, the clock was blinking.
Yeah, it was blinking for a long time.
I think for me,
what were
like
your
you said, we
highlights?
had great guests. I got to put you and some of your former teammates through a little rapid fire.
So funny.
And that prompted Heather O'Reilly, aka Heyo, to come rushing on the stage. So that was by far my favorite part. So much fun.
I think us three sitting in the couch together, I knew it was cramped, but then I saw the photo after and we were all just like tucked in there. That was really funny. Enjoyed that. But first and foremost, the Orlando Pride won their first championship ever in the NWSL. So exciting for them. Obviously, bunch of storylines around Marta and this being her first NWSL championship and something so meaningful to her. But what were your highlights watching the final? You're such a soccer girly.
I am
now,
a soccer
Sue.
girly. So many takes.
Yeah. What are your takes from the final? What'd you see?
To be honest, the game was great. You know, obviously, we had talked about the Marta storylines. Amazing to see her win. I was really more blown away just by the weekend in general. You know, you had so many different dinners and activations, parties. Just Women's Sports did a party. Together had a dinner. Like I said, so many brands present. So it really felt big. Right? I've experienced that with a lot of WNBA All-Stars, NBA All-Star weekends, and it's really great to see women's sports start to have these big feeling events. And I think when it comes to the game itself, what I noticed the most, and other people around, we were sitting in a suite with other former players, and everybody else was kind of saying this, I noticed it too, the scrum. The post-game media scrum was probably the biggest we've ever seen. And for those that don't know, a scrum is just when all the media kind of rushes on to interview and get, reactions of all the players. It was definitely surrounding Marta, which was really special, and Barbara Banda. So I thought the scrum was really telling. What about you?
Yeah, it felt like, to speak to the scrum, it felt like the moment the whistle hit, like Marta dropped to her knees, did her thing, and then it just like grew from there. It was like teammates,
all
staff,
the like boom mics,
the coaches,
the cameras,
the booms,
yeah,
the photographers, the journalists. Like it felt like that scrum just like continued. But even on the Washington side, it just, I think just the amount of people speaks to like the growing resources, whether that's like, you know, the extended support staff for the teams or more media, more league people, like everyone was out there. It was like such a big deal.
Yeah, it really did. It felt big. For Orlando, as you said, it's their first championship. Really a worse the first scenario, and they're going to be celebrated in Orlando with a parade. So women's sports just continues to grow. And with that, let's take you to A Touch More live in Kansas City.
Support for A Touch More comes from L'Oreal Paris. Every holiday season, you always hope that it's finally a stress-free one. One can only hope, but L'Oreal Paris is here to help. They create products to gift and to use that allow women to feel their best in any season. So no matter what the holidays hold, L'Oreal's got your back because you're worth it. Stay tuned to hear about some of our favorite L'Oreal Paris products later in the episode. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. We're so excited to be here. Welcome to A Touch More live from the NWSL Championship final here in Kansas City. Shout out. Big thanks to Google Pixel for making all of this possible tonight. Obviously, Google Pixel is the presenting sponsor also of the NWSL Championship and the official mobile phone of the NWSL. So tap in, everybody. Yeah. We had our barbecue today. We did the
Our
things.
fingers still smell.
Yeah.
It's like, does this ever go away?
No, I don't think so.
Jack Stack, maybe?
Jack Stock? Yeah. It was a 500-foot walk from the hotel, so that's... You guys know what the weather is
Well, now they know
doing.
where we're staying. So.
Yeah. Shit. I didn't think that through. Did I? We have such an we think it's an exciting show. We have an exciting show tonight. We're very excited. We're gonna have a few friends stop by. Meg Linehan from The Athletic. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. We have Ali Krieger joining us as well. Oh.
We have a surprise guest that we think you're gonna like.
We're obviously going to be talking, about the game eventually, but we're going to be talking a ton about just the growing sport, the growing media coverage around the sport, and like the drastically changing landscape. And then obviously we're going to get into the nitty-gritties.
Yeah, we'll get into the game a little bit. And then we have some games of our own, which we do. Honestly, these games might be harder than the game tomorrow, I'm not going to lie. There's some tough ones.
Tomorrow's light work.
Yeah. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the check-in. Megan, we are less than 24 hours away from the final. Orlando Pride, Washington Spirit. We all know the deal. You've already picked a winner on our pod. Well, this is going to be a surprise for
Rain.
you. You already picked a winner on our pod last week.
did,
Remind everybody who you got.
I did pick Orlando last week. I'm sticking with them. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Big Spirit Fingers crew in here, huh? Okay. You guys are trying to get that Michelle Kang money. I see.
Smart. Very smart.
No, I picked Orlando, and I'm sticking with him.
Well, tell everybody what players you're excited to watch.
Well, I feel like just in general, like best team, they have the best player ever, in my opinion. They have the best coach. They have the best defender. They have probably the second best player in the league this year, and Banda. In terms of players, okay, I'm looking at the goalkeepers just because it's just a really thankless position. You're either going to be the hero or just like the absolute most tragic person in the game. Yeah, it's a tough position. It seems awful. I don't know why anyone does it. So I'm looking at them like who's going to have the better game, who's going to play well with their feet. There was some nervy.
Which one lays down the most? I feel like that's a thing with these goalies.
And Kattenberger.
Do they not lay down a lot? Is it just
She got
me?
knocked out.
Bad? Don't say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
I just see a lot of laying.
happening. We have found a way to execute timeouts in soccer. I feel like the Reign are a little bit responsible for this, but we didn't do it to this extent. So I'm looking at the goalkeepers. I'm obviously looking at Trin. Trin showed out a couple of, Trin Rodman obviously showed out a couple of finals ago and just is like one of the most, if not the most dynamic player in the world and just has the ability to change a game. I'm looking at Barbara Banda, obviously. I mean, what the fuck? How do you stop her? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I can't. Y'all know I wasn't fast or good at defense. And I'm looking at Marta and specifically that partnership. Yeah, I think that they are going to give that center back pairing from Washington absolute fits. I'm just like, it's like the nightmare scenario, the nightmare partnership. You have someone in Marta who literally can do it all, best player. Her vision, like she has such gravity, but also Barbara Band has such gravity and the way they push and pull off of each other. So
wait, actually, someone told us the other day how Tobin and Press in their show talked about how Marta is being set up for success. Given her age, it's the reality of an athlete, right? You get a little older, you got a little more limitations, but she's being set up. Is there a player for you that you were ever teamed up with that allowed you to maybe play a little longer? It gave you a chance, since you were slow and not good at defense. Okay, so mine was Brianna Stewart and Jewel Lloyd.
Yeah.
I'll just say that right now.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, anyone who wanted to do like extra running and a lot of it and could run fast. I think Crystal Dunn, for me, was a player. Yeah, shout out to Crystal. She did a lot for me, definitely defensive work, but also her ability to get up and down the line. I mean, I'm just thinking back to our partnership and, especially 2019, I thought she really allowed me to pretty much just go forward and do what I wanted going forward. And then she did all the back stuff.
So even though you did, you finished when you were 38 years old, but you were here last year, so you have a unique perspective. You understand, what the players are thinking right now. They're probably, finishing up dinner, getting ready to head to their rooms to calm down and chill, get ready for the big game. But that was you last year. So tell us, what were you thinking last year? What do you think the players are thinking right now?
I hope that they're just so excited. Our experience was a little bit different in that we played in San Diego in the semi and then stayed there for the final. So we didn't have the travel, but they'll probably have celebrated on the night of the game or the night after. I hope they did that. I always say you can't go back and celebrate it. So just really enjoy it. It is very much an accomplishment and something they should be incredibly proud of, both teams, for getting to the final. That should be something that you celebrate. Obviously, job's not done and blah, blah, blah. But I think that is something that you should really enjoy. We definitely did that last year, and that was something that we made a point to do. Hopefully they enjoyed the media day and all the awards. Obviously there was a lot of awards for both those teams, and that pretty much says that they're the best teams. They had the best defender, they had the best coach, they had the best player, they had pretty much everything except the MVP, which was yeah. There we go. Okay, Kansas City's in the house. Okay. There's the home crowd. Yeah. Temo Chuminga. I mean, we would be remiss to not. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. If I played with her, that would have made my job a lot easier. I don't know if I would have made her job easier, but so hopefully they're just relax. I mean, there's going to be some nerves and I think some excitement, but at this point, your prep is done. If you're worried that your prep isn't done, you haven't done it and it's not going to get done one day before. So hopefully they're just doing all their last little bits, getting their body right. Stretch a calf out. I don't know. That could be good. You've obviously been in 817 finals. Or championships in ours, but different because we have the single elimination. So, I mean, you've had some, but how would you be approaching this week?
Yeah, it is different.
Basketball.
It is different. We do have some single eliminations, obviously things like the NCAA tournament, the Olympics, but yeah, in the WNBA, you really only get that. You only get a taste of that in game 5 of a 5-game series in the WNBA finals. So it is a little different, but that's actually what intrigues me about this game. In the WNBA, in basketball, when you have a series, if you've gotten to that game 5, it means clearly you've played this team 5 times. It means you know them really well. And it becomes about execution. It becomes about making big plays. And when I kind of was doing some research, I saw that Orlando and Washington, they played in April. And that's 100 years ago at this point. Then they played October 6th, which, is but the Spirit didn't have their full roster. They didn't have Trin.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Just keeping receipts here. These fans know what's up.
Yeah, they didn't have Trin, they didn't have Hal, they didn't have Lacey, they didn't have Casey Krieger. So they were obviously not themselves. So the Orlando Pride hasn't seen the Washington Spirit like in full form. So I don't think those results really matter. So this game will be about tactics, as you guys like to say. We call it strategy on our side. So there'll be some tactical things happening out there.
Don't be throwing shade over
but
here.
I think it's gonna be mental. Because the one thing I do know about these games is they're not perfect. Like you want to go in there as a player and you kind of envision like scoring all the goals, everything goes right. It never does. And it's really about which team is gonna embrace that and then make the big play. So to your point, I do think it's gonna come down to big players making big plays. But that's really kind of been like what this season has been. This has been an unprecedented season on the field by every metric, all the games, the excitement. I mean, poor Gotham lost in PKs, but listen, PKs are exciting.
Tough.
So we were all tuned into that. It was tough. But yeah, unprecedented on the field, but you've talked about it being unprecedented off the field as well.
Well, before we get to this shout, I mean, your analysis. Baby girl knows the game, y'all. I mean, we haven't been together a
Shout
long
out to
time.
all the journalists whose articles I read last night.
I know, we're both like in the podcast and in all the articles and doing all the things. There is one thing that I want to talk about. This isn't to toot our own horn, but more so, this has been like the best year in the NWSL I've obviously seen, every year. Yeah, give it up. By every metric on the field, from attendance to just general vibe to viewership to everything. But I think also off the field, it's been just as big. And a huge part of that has been all the former players that have kept their talents in the NWSL and continued to like pour back into it. And I just want to shout out a few of them. I mean, we always talk about how dynamic, female athletes are and, that we're like the experts in this. And I just feel like it's really cool to see. And I think I'm seeing it really for the first time, obviously being my first year out of retirement. But I think this is the biggest that it's been, where we really are like the voices of the game. The players are the voices of the game. And I think I've talked to a lot of them and I know I feel this, like just so proud. We love it so much. We literally have built this on our backs for so long. And I think a lot of the players that are now retiring, like we don't get to enjoy the fruits of the labor necessarily, which does kind of suck sometimes. We retired at exactly the wrong time. But it's like we're the experts in the game. We're the entertainment in the game. We're the analysis in the game. And I just want to take a sec to shout out all of the other women that are doing amazing things. So Sam Mewis, the Women's Game Pod. Shout out. We love a Sam Mewis. We love a Sam Mewis. Good Vibes FC. Obviously, these players aren't retired, but with Becky and Lynn, they do their fair share in there. Yep. Darian Jenkins, along with Lisa Carlin and Sandra Herrera in attacking third. Kelly O'Hara with a basketballer.
Shout out Lisa Leslie.
Let's go. With Fast Friends at JWS. Ali Krieger with ESPN Football W. Staying in the game so much. Lori Lindsay and Leanne Sanderson are literally the voices of the league with the NWSL. Lori will be calling the game. We love a big gay on the broadcast, obviously. Yes. Lori Lindsay again and Heather O'Reilly, SiriusXM radio show played
in the building. In the building.
Shout out to the big dog.
In the building.
Hey, we love you so much. Kristen Press and Tobin Heath, the recap show via their company Media and Inc. Jordan Angeli, Shannon Box, Lola Bonta, Ali Riley, so many more. I would be remiss to not say, even though you're not doing media, Lauren Holiday Cheney, as we call her. Yeah. She's probably just gonna own the league eventually at some point and sort of run anything. If I miss someone, please shout it out. But I just think it's so cool. It's honestly so meaningful for me to show up in this way and for us to have such a big impact. And also, we built this shit and we're going to continue to build this shit. And thank you all for supporting all of these platforms and all of these, pods or whatever it may be. But that also leads me to so many women in media who have been holding it down and telling believing our stories first and foremost, and telling our stories and really doing an unbelievable job for honestly decades. And this is why we're so excited to bring on our next guest. Senior writer for The Athletic, who covers the women's national team for a very long time. She covers the women's league, obviously, in the NWSL. She's also the host of the weekly podcast, Full Time with Meg Linehan. That is the clue that you guys all need. Please welcome to the stage, Meg Linehan. You know her, you love her.
You full named me.
Full named you. Full name. Meg has new frames and they look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meg, have you had barbecue?
Have I what?
Had barbecue yet?
I have. I have.
Do your
a couple
fingers
times.
smell?
No, not tonight.
Okay.
Not tonight. Wednesday night. That was Wednesday night. You got
Where'd you go?
Yeah, where'd you go?
Jack Stack.
Okay.
I think it's the last
We know
of
where
the big
she's staying.
ones.
Okay.
Last of the big ones that I had not been to yet.
Wait, which are the ones you haven't been to?
Just like I've been to Q39, you know. So I've done all the big ones now.
Been here a time or two.
Yeah.
Well, Meg, we're going to start with your thoughts on the NWSL's growth, but what you want to see as the league grows, what you want to see in the coverage of it.
I mean, more coverage. There's 4 full-time writers, I think, now in the U.S. covering women's soccer. When I started at The Athletic in 2019, I was the only one. The job didn't exist until I came to The Athletic. And I think if you ask most folks, like, how many people are covering this sport in the U.S., they'll be like, 40, 50. No, that's not how that's working.
No. You do the work of 40 or 50.
I mean, I do
Not
like
for
to
the pay,
sleep. No,
but the work of.
No, but I think there is still so much infrastructure that can get built. Obviously, I think the player part of it has come a super long way. I think the brands have stepped in, and now it's both legacy media, independent media. That's all the stuff that still needs to get built. And there are still roadblocks and challenges and institutional sexism and all the fun stuff that we love to talk about on a daily basis.
So wait, very quickly, Megan just ran through a bunch of former player-led pod shows. What are your thoughts on that in terms of the ecosystem? Like, how do you think that fits in? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Are we annoying?
I mean,
Are we the best?
You're the best. I do think it just provides something so different, right? In terms of being able to tell stories that I think it is really hard. Like, I feel like I've gotten stories out of people because sometimes I've been the only face being around at a game in a mix zone when we still had mix zones. We don't really have mix zones anymore. But
I miss the mix zones a lot. I
yeah.
love a mix zone.
Are you like, showtime?
Literally. I was like, oh my God. I was like, might as well have tap shoes on.
For those that don't know, explain a mix zone for those that don't understand. Yeah.
It's my stage. It's my entertainment platform.
Mix zones happen after games. So after a game will end, in theory, for the NWSL, in theory, at one point, every player was supposed to walk through, and you had the chance to stop them and ask them a question or two. COVID hit, and those went away. So there has been a really hard challenge in terms of access, in terms of being able to tell like those day-to-day game stories that still aren't really being told. Like when you think about an NFL game and the wall-to-wall coverage that you get both before, during, after, and then as soon as that game ends, they're already looking into next week. That's the part that still has not hit generally in women's sports at all, because that's the part where it's really hard still to justify that level of coverage.
Even though all the numbers and all of the information and evidence is there. We're getting there. No, I always do remember and appreciate so much I joke about the mix zone, but being able to go into the mix zone and tell my side of the story. I'm not saying I wasn't biased, but I always knew you were gonna find my bullshit and whatever, you know. But I knew that we could go in there and at least tell somebody, and somebody was going to write about it. And I think that was, a huge part of our, sort of like off-field success at that time. Mm-hmm. And I always was like, "Where's Meg? She's gonna keep it 100." Okay, speaking of investment, we have to talk about it. Michelle Kang.
Yes.
I mean, that bee is throwing down matching fits and a lot of money. The fits are sensational. It is just amazing. I love them so much. I'm like, I can be your hand-me-down girl. Earlier this week, obviously, it was announced that Michelle King, owner of the Washington Spirit, donated $30 million to U.S. soccer. Yeah. That did raise an eyebrow because I was like, why them? No, I'm just kidding. This is
Historically,
and then
they've
I found
done
what
so
it was
well.
going to do. Then I found out what it was going to do, and we want to get your. This is a huge deal, though. This is being called transformative, but it's also going to be transformative. What is your understanding of like how this came about, and what do you think the impact's going to be, and what's just like your opinion or read on it?
Yeah, apparently it really just started in a breakfast, like in a cafe in Paris. CEO of U.S. Soccer. Hey, I know you were
was
around.
in a Chanel two-piece.
Yeah.
We know it. U.S. Soccer was not.
No. U.S. Soccer CEO JT Batson and Michelle decided, okay, we're going to meet up. They had never really talked in depth. The meeting was supposed to be an hour, and then I think 3.5 hours later, they actually left. And Michelle started asking all these questions like, what are you doing about youth development? What are you doing about referees? What are you doing about all of these things? And JT was like, well, we have a plan. We don't really have money for it. We kind of, like we know what we want to do in this space. We have an approach. And Michelle clearly was like, well, I've got
Michelle,
the money.
I have a plan. Can I have a breakfast and I have a plan?
So there is this sense of, and what is really interesting about this investment, right? Because it's doubling the camps for youth national teams, right? Like right off the bat. It's education and mentorship for female coaches and referees. And then it's talent identification for youth national team players, right? Like, I mean, they're talking about, there's one U15 team in this country right at the moment. They're like, why couldn't we have 30? Like, what's holding us back from that? And so, yes, $30 million, obviously a big thing, but none of those things are like, it's not a national training center with your name on it, right? She's gonna have that event in New York City, which is like lovely, perfect Michelle, Lincoln Center, the vibes, the
Dinner
opera.
at Tatiana.
Like the vibes are very Michelle, but the attention is never gonna be at that level again, because that's the stuff that goes so under the radar. And so I think people have to keep on U.S. Soccer to make sure that they spend that money wisely, that they meet the goals that have been kind of put out there.
She'll be on them, I feel like. She's going to need receipts.
But that's the really interesting thing about this, is realizing this is not like an NWSL problem or me problem. U.S. Soccer should be handling this. They do have a plan. But no one has ever given $30 million for women's soccer in America.
Yeah, it's huge. I just feel like it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but like an investment into the foundation and the infrastructure
Yes,
of
100%.
the most successful team in the world.
Yes.
Historically and right now. We're back.
Yeah, I'm like, does Michelle like basketball?
I feel like
Y'all-
because she went to the USA Rugby Sevens at Paris Olympics, literally sat next to like the head of USA Rugby, and she like by the end of that week she had donated $4 million to them. So you just gotta like, like be like, hey,
I'm like,
Hey,
does she like
Michelle.
us? She like me and Sue? She like a touch more?
I know, I have a plan.
We have ideas.
We really have plans.
We love breakfast.
Big plans. Well, obviously, I mean, this amount of money is insane, and she's obviously invested not just in U.S. Soccer, but clearly the NWSL. So we're going to take it back there for a second. Looking forward to tomorrow. What storyline in tomorrow's final are you most looking forward to?
I mean, there's one for each side, I think, right? Because for Orlando, it's everything Marta, like 100%, right?
Go.
Like, she does have, last year it was you and Ali, right? And everybody thinking about those two players. leaving it out. Now, Marta has said she's still open to playing for 2 more years, right? We don't know if it's going to happen in Orlando. She's a free agent. I feel like if they win tomorrow, that price tag goes up a little bit. But, there is that emotional connection that I think a lot of people have watching Marta play, and this team has been really special. For the Spirit, I think it's that rookie class, right? The Hal Hirschfeld, Corey Bethune obviously injured, but like when I think about Hal Hirschfeld, when we were all voting for Rookie of the Year, I'll be honest, she was not on my radar because I was like, she's been here forever. What are we talking about? Yeah. Like, she's so good, going to the Olympics, right? Like, all of that. And so, yeah, I think the Spirit have been changes in a good way, in a controlled way this year, as opposed to going through terrible, terrible ownership changes or coaching changes or whatever it is. And so to see them go through change intentionally and be a team through that process has been really interesting.
It has been disorienting having Orlando be the best team in the league. I'm just going to say it. Everyone feels it. We love it for them. We are on board. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Tracks this year. Anyways, on that note, I want to talk to you a little bit about Seb Hines, Coach of the Year.
Yes.
I know a little something about a Coach of the Year. Can we give just a big shout to Laura Harvey, who's in the stands? Multiple-time Coach of the Year. Can you just describe his ascent? Like, he's been there a long time, but he got the job only recently and seems to have always had the kind of backing of the players. But what from your view are you seeing?
I mean, he's been in Orlando for like a decade, right? Whether it was a Orlando men's player and then coming in as kind of this assistant coach, like the NWSL vibe where you're an assistant coach, but you're not really an assistant coach. And then you get kind of pushed up. Yeah. And so I think there is a sense of he treats players like, yes, I'm your coach, but I'm not going to have any less respect for you than a teammate. Right. And so it is funny. I think he absolutely hates being the center of attention as well. And so, seeing him at media day yesterday, seeing him in match day -1, you could just tell, I'm dying inside. This is not just put me back on the field, guys, and I'll be happy. But I mean, I think he is such a calm and cool head, especially for that club and the way that, Orlando walked into that room in media day yesterday and had just such clear affection and love for each other, and that extended to him. When he got presented Coach of the Year, you could tell they're giving him shit. They're it's that sort of okay, the vibes are really good around this team right now, and I don't think that happens without him.
Yeah, I did just shout out Seb, the first Black head coach to win Coach of the Year. Super cool. Yeah, it's really important to have that. He's got 2 Black assistant coaches. For the league, for that team, for the Black players in this league, that is super cool. So I just want to shout that out.
Staying on the postseason awards, a ton have been announced. There's some new ones this year. We've got best 11, second best 11, midfielder of the year, which by the way, I know I keep bringing basketball up. Well, I wasn't going to shout out who won, but I keep bringing basketball up. I'm like, I would love that. Point guard of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Center of the
now.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But something that I wanted to ask you about that I noticed in my research last night was the voting system.
Yeah, very different.
I think it's fascinating. So my frame of reference is the WNBA, and for all of our postseason awards, it's 100% the media. So broadcasters, I should say, and journalists. And in the NWSL, it is 40% after you get to after the first round. So for the final couple players, 40%, it's weighted, 40% players, 20% owners, coaches, GMs, 20% media, and then 10% fans. No,
they're loving it. They're loving it.
This is bad. You're just picking your favorites.
You're notoriously biased.
This is so what I just described loosely is how we do all-star selections.
Yeah.
Fans, 100%. Vote them in. So I was curious your thoughts, because I found this to be super interesting.
Yeah, it's so different from the WNBA system. And what I think is also really interesting is there are 2 rounds, right? And so there is that sort of selection process of you got to get to your top 5 or top 3, whatever it is. And that's a challenge in and out of itself, because I think what happens is a lot of people vote in the first round and then maybe forget about the second round. So like challenge number one. And I do always kind of wonder, like, when you were playing, how many games of your fellow teams were you watching amongst?
I feel
Right?
like I know what you're getting at, and
Listen, I did it in the WNBA.
I was an unreliable voter. I'm just gonna say that. You know, I was like, I'm either voting for the homies or this form is too long and there's too many nexts in the thing.
There are multiple pages.
It was multiple pages and multiple things, and it's like,
Yeah.
you can't watch every game.
Yeah.
I was unreliable.
I think it's also like what is interesting is
not gonna make
for
any excuses.
WNBA with media, and I think this is the same issue across the board, right? Like your media is for the most part localized, right?
I'm not saying the media is the
No,
way to
no.
go
I
either.
think voting for any award is just such a weird and flawed process across the board, right? And I think we've seen that, you know, whether it's Blondie or whether it's NWSL End of Year Awards, like whatever it is, it's always a little tough in terms of like, are you really getting that consensus choice of? That's why I was really frustrated, because I think about WNBA and it's like you can get a consensus pick and you know what the breakdown is. Whereas for Temwa Chwenga, who won MVP today, right? We have no idea like how that voting breakdown happened. And so it's just like, what was her voting block like? Like who, was it the players? Was it the media? Was there a consensus across
Was it
all four
Michigan?
groups?
Was it the blue wall? I know, tough. Sorry, guys. We're gonna get through it.
Okay, so with that,
Yeah.
we've now seen a lot of the winners. Are there any that you feel like got snubbed? Are you happy with who won?
I mean, I was a little surprised with Croy Bethune making midfielder of the year, not because I want to discredit what she did, but 17 games of the season. Like, I think she had rookie of the year in the bag, and I think we all knew that going in, right? But what was really interesting is I think there were two really strong candidates between Marta, who is in like this is her best club season she's had in the NWSL, and Vanessa DiBernardo.
Shout out.
She knows her
Great
audience.
season. Great midfielder. Great season.
Right. And so I think that was kind of what people expected out of that award. And then to have Croy come in I think she deserves it. I think everyone who makes that final five is a viable candidate. But that was really interesting to me. But I will say it provided like the perfect moment at Media Day yesterday where they all had Croy Bethune t-shirts on. Notably, Michelle Kang did not put hers on over her little outfit. She just held it up and was like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing it.
She was like, that's cute.
They did hand it to her and she was like, okay. That's...
She's not doing it. Speaking of Croy and other like just bomb rookies,
Yeah.
obviously Hal Hirschfeld, Corey Dyke, they're all, not Croy, but the other two are going to be playing. Great rookie class. Like, what's going on? I feel
Yeah.
like rookies are not traditionally this
No.
successful in
And
the
they're
league.
from college.
And they're from
Yeah.
college. Like, are they eating their Wheaties? What's happening?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
NIL?
there is, I think we started seeing it because there's always been, like number one pick when Andy Sullivan came into the NWSL, right? Like everybody was just like, she's great.
We love her.
She's coming in from a college system, but she has national team experience. She'll be fine. And so I think there were always that top 2, 3 that just kind of like settled in, no sweat. And then the like 2001-ish era hit, like Sophia Smith comes in and is just like, oh, you're a pro. Naomi Gurma comes in, oh, you're a pro. But this year, I'm going to probably get cheers again. I think about Claire Hutton in Kansas City and what she was tasked to do for that Kansas City current team as a rookie. Like, I don't think we've really seen that level of trust. And that was one of the messages from the Washington Spirit rookies yesterday, talking to Hal Hirschfeld, saying, they expect us to contribute. Like, it does not matter what our age is. Like, we're now on this team. We have to step up. We have to be at that level. Like, they know that we are young players, but we are still players on this team. And I think the messaging has been so different. The fact that, there was the kind of under 18 mechanism meant that we could think about Olivia Moultrie, right? Coming into the NWSL. These are players who I think have changed what they think their career will be. It's not, okay, I got to go to college. It's, I can bypass that. I can go into the NWSL. I feel ready for this moment. And I might need more development, but I can be in that professional environment and it's going to accelerate my career. And so just the framework has really changed.
The coaching too from those three players, obviously Vlatko here. Yeah, Johnny Heraldez. Can we start this? Can we just start calling him Johnny? We got to Americanize Johnny Heraldez. Like Geraldez? Yeah. And then Seb Hines, obviously, in Orlando.
Yeah.
But excellent coaching for all of them, but spread it. It's Johnny now,
Okay.
not Jonathan.
Our little short king.
Yeah, our short king.
All right. Well, that's a good time to play a game.
They like it.
That's a good time to play a game. We were going to say that we were going to put $30 million on this, but we clearly don't have that, so it's just a game. All right, we're going to do a little two truths and a lie.
Oh boy.
How do you feel about that?
We're going to find out.
Okay.
It's better. I was expecting trivia and I was very worried.
Okay, here we go. Two truths and a lie. We'll start this off. Choose the lie. Keep it simple. Okay. Lauren Holiday, hello, was the NWSL's first MVP. The U.S. women's national team has never been ranked lower than 5th in the world. The North Carolina Courage have won the most NWSL championships in history.
2013 MVP. Yeah, that was Lauren, right? God, I mean, I was
can't
literally
give you
at the
any hints.
final. You would think that I would know. U.S. has not been ranked lower than 5th. I do not know who's won the most championships. I would assume it's North Carolina. Portland?
What's your answer? That was like 8 answers.
I know. Again, this
Which
is now
the lie?
trivia.
Which is the lie?
Literally, I Google everything. So shout out to your sponsor, Google Pixel.
There you go, Gemini. Got you.
So your answer is
Championships?
that is correct.
Okay, good.
Portland
Good job, Meg.
has
Portland.
the most championships. Okay. Round number 2. We have 3 rounds.
Great.
It'll be quick. During a match in Kansas City, the turf got so hot that players' cleats started to melt.
Yes, true.
During a 2022 Portland Thorns match, the game had to be postponed because their victory log started rolling down the stadium stairs. In 2018, head coach Vera Powell of the Houston Dash brought a cheetah to practice with the team.
I do think the cheetah happened, right? I feel like that was a real story. Whatever the Portland one is, Sly.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. Last but not least,
The cheetah's real. That's why.
the cheetah's
Yeah.
real.
She didn't last long.
There was like a whole, yeah. It was like a Miyagi situation.
Not good.
In 2015, Kim Little of the Seattle Reign got arrested after hopping a fence at Niagara Falls and entering a restricted area in order to get a better picture. Sky Blue FC had to have RVs brought in so players could shower after games. Michelle Kang had ownership stakes in 2 NWSL teams at the same time.
Michelle is the lie. Kim, well, she didn't get arrested though, right? She just got detained. Is that the distinction?
Detained and arrested is the same.
Yeah, we're using
Okay.
loose terms here.
Since Laura Harvey has told me this story. Yeah.
So your answer is?
Michelle Kang has only ever owned a stake in the Washington Spirit. She has.
This is a trick question. They're all true.
Kind of.
Michelle Kang obviously owns the Washington Spirit.
It's loose, it's a
Then-
loose truth.
Oh, this is the Leon. All right.
It wasn't great for us, Meg. Okay, I feel like resources were diverted.
Meg, thank you so much for
Thank you.
playing. Thank you for
Thank you.
being here.
Thank you, Meg.
Meg Linehan, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This segment is sponsored by Google Pixel. Looking to upgrade your smartphone? Sure, you could settle for the same old, or you could reach for the extraordinary and try a Google Pixel 9 Pro. Pixel 9 Pro comes with Gemini, your built-in AI assistant that helps you supercharge your ideas. And now, with Gemini Live, you can have an actual conversation with Gemini. Seriously, so the next time you want to brainstorm party ideas, uncover interesting fun facts, or even get quizzed on soccer trivia, you can ask Gemini. And it features Pixel's best camera yet, with a Pro Triple Rear camera, Super Res Zoom, now available for video, and Add Me, which gets the whole group in your pics. even the person taking the photograph. So you'll never miss a shot and never have to settle for less than extraordinary. Meet Pixel 9 Pro. With a stunning new design, the advanced AI power of Gemini, and our best camera yet, now we're talking. You can learn more about the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini Live on the Google Store. For Gemini Live, results for illustrative purposes and may vary. Check responses for accuracy. Compatible with certain features and with certain accounts. Internet connection required. Available on select devices, languages, and countries. Only available to users 18 years and older. For AdMe, results may vary. Not available for all cameras, apps, or modes.
Support for A Touch More comes from L'Oréal Paris. As professional athletes, both Megan and I had close-ups of our sweaty, flushed, occasionally dirt-covered faces broadcasted to millions. I personally think I look pretty glowy with sweat dripping down my face, but having a skincare and makeup routine full of excellent products has allowed me to feel confident in my skin no matter its state, and no matter how close the cameras decide to be. L'Oréal Paris sent us some products to try, and I have to be honest, after re-watching some interviews in like my final season, I was noticing how I think I have droopy eyebrows. My eyebrows droop, they're thinning out. I don't know if this is an age thing.
Okay.
So I was really psyched that they sent me both a brow stylist definer, give me a little something something,
Okay.
but also a brow lamination. So it's keeping those brows up. You got to train those things.
Me personally, I have my blonde hair. It takes a lot of upkeep. The purple conditioner, the Everpure, sulfate-free, really just like keeps me looking poppin', keeps the yellow and the brassy out, keeps me right the whole time. So I'm excited about that. L'Oréal Paris makes products that gives you confidence to glow on and off the pitch, sweaty face or not. Send L'Oréal Paris products to those you love. You can find your new favorite L'Oréal Paris products on Amazon.com.
I wish we had a screen to show you the pictures of Kim Little getting detained. Megan has them. Oh.
It was honestly our assistant Sam's fault. I don't know what he was doing, bringing our pride and joy and our crown jewel past the fence where it was supposed. First of all, she could have died. Okay, we could not have afforded that for many different reasons. But this is where the famous side thumb. I don't know if you guys have ever seen us do this all the time. This is where the famous side. This was Sam, at the Niagara Falls where he wasn't supposed to be, just being like. Epic photo, epic story. Kim almost got deported. Okay, let me get back on track. Yeah. Sue's wrap that up. Okay, next up is our surprise guest who will be joining us. Another member of the media, but it's a player turned media member this time. She is a 3-time NWSL champion, a World Cup champion, 2020 U.S. Soccer Player of the Year, host of the Women's Game Pod. Welcome to the stage, Sam, the Tower of Power, Mewis. There she is. Sam.
Oh my gosh, can I put my feet up on here?
Get comfortable.
Lounge it out.
Get comfortable.
Lounge it
too
out. Lounge it out. Sam, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Hi, everybody.
Isn't it so great you get to be a guest after hosting?
Oh my God, it's so great. Get those cards away from me. Ask me easy stuff, and we're going to have such a great
Softballs.
time.
Well, how was your live pod yesterday?
Oh my gosh, was anybody there?
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was so great. I know you were there, Cheney. It was so great. We had such a great time. I've seen Cheney at literally every single event this weekend.
Lucky.
On, off, on, off. It was such a great show. Thank you to everybody who came out. It was so wonderful. We had such great guests on, and I'm so happy to be with you guys tonight.
Well, we're so happy that you're joining us, Sam. You're literally our favorite. Okay, we're gonna start out. First of all, I've always been so impressed. I'm gonna gas you up a little bit. Yeah, prepare yourself. I've always been just so impressed by not only your willingness, but your commitment to use your platform to be involved, to talk about the issues that you want. You've always done that. We're finding in retirement, obviously, that looks a little bit different, even though we've put the mic back in front of our own faces, which I'm like, this is best. Obviously, we want to do this. But how are you finding that aspect of like, how do you find the ways to talk about the things that you want? What are the things that you want to talk about? We just kind of want to like open the floor up to you a little bit and hear a little bit of how you're doing this do you have any advice for us, really?
Well, first of all, I feel like I want to say that the reason you're even, I'm so honored that you would even say that about me, because I think that the reason I have found it to be important to speak about things that matter to me is because of you.
We've had some moments. Remember mediation? We've had some moments behind closed doors that were memorable.
We did. But I think what you really showed me is that when you have a voice, that's like a privilege. And I don't want to say it's an opportunity, and I don't want to say it's a responsibility, but it's somewhere in that world of like, if I get to use this voice to make money and have this stable job and have people want to talk to me and take pictures with me, I have to use the same voice and the same platform to say the hard stuff too. Yeah. And so I'm trying really hard, and I also understanding that we are not all going to get it right all the time. And I think that that is what's so special and unique about the women's soccer community, is that we hold each other accountable, but I hope that there is also times that there's room for forgiveness. And I think you asked the things that are important to me to talk about, and I coming here to Missouri for the NWSL Championship, to a place, Kansas City, where I lived for a year. I love it here so much. Kansas City is such an incredible place. But I was so aware of the rights for women in Missouri and having this event here, having a team here, having NWSL teams, WNBA teams in states that women don't have full access to reproductive rights and healthcare. And I don't have all of the answers to this, but I told you on this show, I wanted to use this as an opportunity to just raise that and really just acknowledge that we all came here to watch women's soccer and support women. And it's a state that, yes, did just overturn the abortion ban, but there is still a lot of work to be done here in order to put into place all of the action items that are needed to actually provide those abortions. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, and I don't know if that's enough, if I should be rattling off organizations. I do know there's abortion funds, there is the Midwest Access Coalition. I don't know exactly what to say, and I hope that maybe we can share some of these resources in a follow-up to this podcast, but I do want to thank you for teaching me how to do this and giving me a platform here tonight to talk about it.
Thank you. It is, yeah. Shout out. You're such a real one, Sam, always. It is so important, I feel like women's athletes in particular, because of our privilege, but then also the fact that we're women and we need reproductive rights, are uniquely situated to talk about this. There's obviously an NWSL team here. There's talk of WNBA teams coming here and other, you mentioned like other states where this is happening and rights are being stripped away. And so like I'm gonna speak for you, but we all promise to keep talking about it and sharing resources and just continuing to be those voices in that space, because it is really important. And we do have a ton of privilege in the spaces that we sit. So.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it, Sam. It's like you're not always gonna get it right. None of us are, but keep using your voice. There's so much weight, so much power to it. So we definitely encourage that. Sam is also using her voice in the game of soccer. So we're going to bring it back to the soccer. I was curious your thoughts on Corey Bethune. She's had this amazing season, obviously only 17 games, but as a rookie, I mean, to read the stats is bananas. It's a league leading. I mean, she only played 17 games and she's still leading the league in assists, had 5 goals, obviously rookie of the year, midfield of the year. What did you see in her game that impressed you? What do you think her ceiling is?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching midfielders play. I think when you've played midfield on the national team, you know like how hard it is to be good on both sides of the ball, to complete one single pass in a high-stakes game is even so difficult. So watching Croy this year, I mean, she just stormed right into the league. The thing I can't get over is the assists, her vision, the weight of those passes, her creativity. I mean, she was so fun to watch, to see her break into the national team as well and have a role there this summer. I've loved watching her play, and I think even the stat, I think you said 10 assists, is this ties Tobin Heath's record or something like this, which I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is just so incredible. Tying Tobin Heath at anything, like, is just goals. So she was super impressive. I think the sky is the limit for her. I mean, one of the things I was thinking about when she just won Midfielder of the Year is I was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of pressure. To win so much and have so much success as a rookie is a lot of weight to carry. But I see Croy and I see her, the way she speaks to these awards, and she's like, yeah, I wanted that and I got it, and I'm gonna keep doing that. And it's so awesome. It's a confidence that I'm like, oh my gosh, if I only had that at any time in my life, it's incredible to see. So I think she feels to me like someone who can carry that pressure.
Yeah, it's actually interesting you say that because there's been some rookies in the WNBA, Candace Parker being one who won MVP. And all of us, when that happened, we were like, she's going to have better years and not win it. Which is crazy to think about. So when you win it as a rookie, it's a really good point. It adds a different pressure.
It's so true. And I think also it is like the media comes in waves, like the points will come in waves. Croy could have a great year and not get 10 assists. And it will all go in waves, but her foundation that she's building for herself, confidence-wise, and on a great team that's taking really great care of her, I'm thrilled for her and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Same. Honestly, I'm so excited. I feel like it's like not always the norm to have like excellent midfielders. You are one of them. We have one of the greatest ever in our midst. Lauren Holiday really was so annoying when you weren't on my team. But I feel like sometimes in the NWSL, and this is why I find it just so impressive, just like the sheer statistical dominance that she had this year. It is difficult. It is a transitional league. Like you're up and down. A lot of emphasis is put on forwards. Like, what do you want to see more of from midfielders? Like, is there a way that like a player like Croy, I mean, obviously there's other midfielders who played so well this year, but such a young player, like, does she have the ability to kind of like redefine the game in a way and become like that central hub where I feel like, at least in the last few years, it's been more of the forward line that's been sort of like dominating the, you know, the best of conversation.
Yeah, I think a couple things about this. I said recently on my own podcast with Becky Sauerbrunn that I wanted to see some midfield setting the play more, and Becky actually disagreed with me, so I immediately was like, oh, I'm wrong, and I'm so ashamed of this. And I've made a huge mistake, and I need to backtrack. But I think
I would have felt the same.
I know.
I'm like, well, obviously I'm wrong.
I was like, yeah, well, I just don't understand the game of soccer anymore. It's obvious to everybody. But I think what I mean is like, I do want to see the six getting on the ball sometimes lower on the field and deciding to go down the middle. Or sometimes I think we're so prone to swinging it around and the attack comes from an outside back. And as a midfielder, I'm like, sometimes I want the attack to come down the middle. And the thing that I see a lot with midfielders is an eagerness to get on the ball and you're checking back and your back's to goal. And I don't really know exactly how to do this. I'm not a coach yet, but getting no, that was like not a hint. I just
Mark it. Big news.
It was not a hint. I did coach one soccer game this year and we won, so I'm doing pretty good.
Undefeated.
I'm doing pretty good. I might retire after that one. Basically what I'm trying to say tactically is that I want midfielders to get the ball faced up and like driving. It's like something Rose Lavelle is really good at. It's something Croy Bethune is really good at. And that's what I wanted to do as a midfielder. I'm the decision maker. I have the ball. I'm facing goal. I can decide to go wide. I can decide to play a final pass. I can decide to dribble. I can decide to combine through the middle. I think midfielders are like uniquely positioned to make decisions under pressure. And so whether it's getting the ball lower and facing yourself up or receiving it from a forward laid back, it's something I'm looking for more.
Yeah, I mean, you in your Courage days, like your guys' midfield was just so, and it's just so difficult. I mean, obviously, I'd be remiss, and I'm obviously biased, so I'm going to bring up Kim Little, one of the best attacking midfielders, Jess Fishlock, one of the best, lower lying midfielders. But I feel like for everyone else, it just makes the game so much easier. Like you should be the control. I always said Sue would be. I mean, your number is 10.
Yeah, I'd be a 10.
Yeah, she would be a 10.
So I'm told.
Yeah, just like the ability to control the game and dictate play from either a lower position or up high, and like ultimately you want those players on the ball, getting in those positions and being your best players. I think the best teams, like some of their best players are the midfielders. in my opinion. And I always loved playing with
I'm going
you,
to take
Sam.
that as a compliment to me.
Sam, yes. Literally, yes. The Tower of Power.
She does talk about you quite often.
all the
in this way.
time.
You guys.
Seriously. Our 2019 vibe was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
I know.
When you broke my sunglasses. We're going to talk about
Do
later.
you guys know that story?
We're going to talk about later.
Are we getting to it or should I briefly tell it?
Briefly tell
Okay,
it.
so basically had a couple drinks after the World Cup. God forbid anybody has fun around here. Chest bumped Pino a little too hard and broke her sunglasses, and they were expensive.
Broke my McQueen's. And then, like an idiot, I was like, well, you're paying for these. And she's like, oh, obviously, absolutely, like, not a
She
problem.
Venmos me. And I was like,
$4.50. I'm like, you know what? I deserve that. Devastating.
I was like, Pino, you're gonna be fine. You're good. You can do it.
I'm good.
Get me a pair of sunglasses.
My life changed. I'm good. I'll buy you a pair and replace this pair.
Sam, you recently talked about on your podcast how you're going to be an aunt. Aunt. I'm actually also team aunt. I have an Aunt Janet and Aunt Chris, but my nieces call me aunt. It's a whole thing. So I just want to say I'm very frustrated that I'm called an aunt.
Okay.
But here we are.
I love auntie. I want to be auntie.
You want to be auntie?
I want to be auntie.
You want to be auntie. So my question is, how did auntie, your sister recently posted a video on how she told your parents. So how did auntie find out about the
Very
pregnancy?
good question, Stu. I don't want to reveal too much of their private information, but I did know very early on and was kind of with them along the way, which was, obviously I wasn't with them along the way, but I was,
Weird.
over FaceTime, getting updates, begging for more information as any sister would do. I'm so thrilled for them. I love Sam and like getting to imagine that Sam, it was in my life now forever through this child and through my sister and through their eventual marriage next year. I feel very, very lucky. My mom is endlessly confused whether Christy's talking about Sam Kerr or Sam Mewis. And I feel so bad for her because I can only imagine what's going through her mind sometimes. Like, who on earth are you talking about right now?
Just can't figure it out. Ever.
So it's so wonderful, and thank you for saying that. We're very excited. I'm gonna just keep babbling. I feel like this is the space to do it. I had this realization the other day. This is actually very personal. That I was like, oh my God, there's gonna be another person in our family, which was such an emotional realization.
Sam or the baby?
The baby. Sam, I've already welcomed
She's
in.
in.
Onboarded.
Yeah,
Is
that's all.
this is like the first little in your, this is the first little in your
if
family?
you think about the Mewis clan of 4, my mom, dad, Christy, and Sam, me, Mewis. Yeah, I mean, of course we have my husband Pat, we have Sam Kerr, but there's
Partners
another
are different.
person.
Littles are a whole
There's
other
another
ball of joy.
person that's gonna grow into our family. It's so cool.
Are you gonna have boundaries on babysitting? Because I know Christy's gonna be dropping them off. Like, you're good, right? She's gonna be like, you're good, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm going to
I'm
the
good
Caribbean.
anytime, 24/7.
Wow.
I'll cancel anything.
Oh, okay. Aunt
I
of the
think.
year. Aunt of the year. Is this child gonna be an American or an Australian? Like, I'm talking about federations, obviously. It's just like, are they good enough to be an American or not? You know what I mean? Have you talked about it? Have you gotten in there?
No, I have not gotten in there. I've not gotten in there. I don't know. I think they couldn't it also maybe be English if it's born there? Did you even factor that one in? Try citizenship?
Again,
I don't
you're
know
either
their
good
laws.
enough to
No.
play for the U.S. or you're playing for someone else. Ask
We don't
Lily.
know. We'll see how good it is.
They gotta play for us, right?
I don't know.
Start the pressure campaign.
All right. I'll call them right now. After this.
Could be the greatest midfielder or the greatest forward we've ever seen.
It could be. Or it could be the greatest violin player.
Okay.
All right, Pino?
True.
Let them find their way. Let them find their way.
Onto the field.
Sam, we're having so much fun. Will you stay?
You're gonna
I'll
stick
stay.
around?
I have nowhere
Yeah?
else to be. My day's done.
Amazing.
All
your
done.
duties are done. Support for A Touch More comes from L'Oreal Paris. If you're looking for holiday gift ideas that'll really make your friend's face glow with joy, with excitement, you name it, L'Oreal Paris has exactly what you need. Gift the athlete in your life the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist to help set their makeup even on the sweatiest of days. Or for the friend who lives under constant cloud cover and rainy days. I'm that friend, thank you, Seattle. The Lumi Glotion is the perfect gift. It can be used as a primer, highlighter, or a bronzing drop. It's an all-in-one choice to get that natural sun-kissed glow even when the sun is nowhere to be found. There's also the Bright Reveal Dark Spot Exfoliant Peel, your professional peel in a bottle which fades post-acne marks, smooths skin tone and texture, and brightens. Or the Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer designed to reduce wrinkles and firm and brighten your skin in just 1 week. So no matter who you're gifting this holiday season, you can give the gift of confidence with any of L'Oreal's innovative skincare products. Because you're worth it, and they're worth it.
Because now we're going to bring on our next guest, another player turned media star, 2-time World Cup champion, 2023 NWSL champion with Gotham, a former member of the Pride and the Spirit, now a fellow retiree. Please welcome Ali Krieger.
Welcome to the stage.
Do the stanky leg.
Hey.
Guys.
Hi, everyone.
Stop. Wait, don't look at my boots because my socks are like.
Are your legs dry?
not-
It's cold here and dry.
What?
Scaling?
No, we're good. Wow, what a crowd. Amazing. Wow.
Ooh, you got your sexy voice on for us today. Hey.
Sloan was sick last week, so I might have gotten a little cough.
Every parent I know is constantly sick. Just
Yeah.
like forever.
Ants don't get sick. Ants don't
Yeah,
get sick.
ants don't
We're
get
in,
sick.
we're out. We're in, we're
Ants
out.
don't get sick.
Yeah, we don't get sick.
Go like
Boom,
this.
boom.
We see the booger, we're out.
Yeah. Nothing in airborne can't knock
good.
out. Quick.
We're good.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Creeks, how you been? What are
Hey,
you up
babes.
to? What have you been doing here? I got to see you for like 8 minutes last night. You've been so busy. What are you doing?
Yeah, ESPN has got me working. Working. Thank you. We did media day yesterday. Had some great interviews with both teams and Jessica Berman, who's incredible. So that was nice. So I worked from basically 1 till 8:30. No worries. Yeah, I was exhausted. Then we met for dinner, which was nice. Great way to end the evening. And then today just had a appearance at the Skills Challenge.
Skills challenge, baby. Yep.
Which you were there.
Can't tell you who won. It's on CBS on Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Time.
Tune in.
Yeah, had a hit with ESPN FC, and then now I'm here, which is the highlight of my day.
Okay. Honey's working. Okay, quick, one-word answer. Who you got for the game? Can you say this as a media member? Unbiased or something? Is it
Listen,
like a
it's a
law?
win-win for me because I play for both teams. But
Yeah, you do.
Marta.
What? You said that one time. 100% of the population.
Wait.
Just kidding. She's on our team.
Okay. You know what? I'm out.
Sam's on the other team.
Okay.
Sam's on the other team, but big ally.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, who you got?
Okay.
Who you got? Come
Okay,
on.
listen. Back to me. Marta. Like
we love that. We love that. We're gonna get into it.
That's it. Like I feel I played with her and I want her to have the success at the end of her career. Maybe it's not the end. I don't want to say that, but yeah, she deserves it, and she's had an incredible year, resurgence in her career. So this has been such a historic moment. So I want her to win.
Oh, incredible. We love it. Yeah, we love Marta.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get back into this Michelle King investment. It's honestly so big. We have to keep talking about it.
Does she have a few for us?
Right,
Like, can
that's
she
I was like,
give
do
us
you
a
like
few
us?
million?
Yeah.
I'm like, can we?
Do you have a
start our
plan?
own club?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you like
Apparently you need a
breakfast?
plan. Do you have a plan?
I don't know, but we can draw one up real quick.
What are you excited about this? Obviously, your work with Gotham as an ambassador and just like all your experience in the league. Like, how do you see this money being transformative for the game? Like, how do you see this sort of playing out all the way up to the top levels?
From, the grassroots through the professional level, it's critical that we have people in positions of power that are willing to give the most and do the most with their investment in order to see us succeed, and want the best for the youth in order to show them the way to achieve success. And I think that is so inspiring and so impactful that Michelle wants to inspire the youth and the younger generations and then implement this type of development so that they understand what they deserve and their value and how appreciated they are in order to get to the level that they want to get to and be appreciated for that. And so I think it's starting at kind of the grassroots level, and not many owners are thinking with that development. And I think that is what is so positively impactful at this level. And she is one of very few, if not anyone. I mean, she is the only one that has been, having this vision of success for the youth in order to continue to grow the game at the levels that we envision, and the performance that we have at the level that we are at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sam, I want to ask you this as well. I mean, obviously you've been through like all the youth programs, you played in the US, you played overseas. Like, how do you see this investment impacting the game on whatever level?
Yeah, it was so funny. Michelle King actually came on our show last night. It was so incredible. She had on the coolest Gucci black leather dress. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Sure did.
I was like, where do you get it? I guess you get it at Gucci, but okay. So this was actually her answer, and I actually feel it's very appropriate to share a Michelle King answer here on this stage. She said that when she first started researching getting into this space, she went to Barcelona, and what she learned was that it was so ingrained in the culture, football was so ingrained in the culture that when people have a baby, the first thing they do as a gift is buy their baby season tickets to Barcelona. And she was like, that's what I want to create here, is that like that connection between the teams and their fans is so close and tight that it's like ingrained in families and in unborn babies. Like it sounds like a really cool culture. And I think that her commitment to developing women's sports here, that is like an ultimate goal, is to have it be that kind of ingrained. And like Krieger said, she's starting with this donation to US Soccer, with her incredible influence on the Washington Spirit. She has teams in several other countries. So I thanked Michelle last night. I said, we have all known that this was worth this for so long, and we've been waiting for somebody with that kind of money to come along and also believe it. So she's like a peerless contributor to this game, and I think the game will change because of her dedication to improving everything.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take it back to Marta for a second. Ali, you played with Marta in Orlando. What was it like playing with one of the best ever?
Well, the move that she did to 2 or 3 of those defenders, which...
Tough.
We're in Kansas City.
Sat them all down. We know them. We love them. Sat them down.
I know, but I have to be honest. She did that to me in training probably every other day. So I get it, and I feel for the Kansas City players. So, I think she is honestly one of the best leaders, silently, because she just shows up and she does her job and she does it really well. And she's so passionate about it. She's so emotionally connected to the game, and she loves the game so much. But you see that every day in training. She shows up. She always will be Marta. She's never going to show up and think that she's better than anyone else. She is always there to play for the team and the love of the game. And that is something that I was so inspired by every single day. And I played with her in Tyresö in Sweden too. And that was my first experience, being connected with her. And that was really impressive too, because she had been there for probably 8 years, played then 10 years there total. And I was so impressed because I was playing alongside one of the best players in the world. And I felt lucky because defending her every single day in training helped me become a better defender and a better player myself. And so therefore, when she came to Orlando in 2017, was also my first year. She came a little bit later because in Sweden, the league ended, I think, in May, or mid-May. It was just different at the time. And that was so exciting. I was so pumped that she was in the NWSL and she was, you know, coming to the league and just gonna elevate it so much. And the fans were gonna be excited. We were all excited. I was almost, you know, obviously I played with her before, but I could see my teammates being so in awe of her talent and just her presence and how much she affected the league and the players in such a positive way that I thought this was gonna be incredible for us. And it has been, obviously. And now, seeing from 2017 to now and all the struggles we went through with Orlando and the 5 seasons that I played there and the different coaching changes and the different, you know, resources we had and the accommodations, and now kind of her leading the squad to this point has been so rewarding for me as just a former teammate to see where they are now. That is why I feel so attached to her success and wanting her to win so badly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like a part of all of our, affinity for this, for her just in general. Like, she's just unbelievable. There's never been anyone like her, and just the way that she's on the field, the passion that she plays with, but also, you know, as basically the best player in the league and in the world, like she can play anywhere. And she really like made a home in Orlando and stuck with it. And obviously a lot of hard times, but to see this season come back around and for her to have the impact that she's having, what do you like from her this season in particular? Like, she's always been great, of course, but what about it this season? Do you need some water? Your throat. I'm worried.
Okay. No laughing. Okay. Like, let me just take it.
She's a mom.
You're laughing with, not at, right?
No, but it is impressive this season. And what have you seen calling the games in your new role in the media?
I think not that she was worse before, right? It's just like different years provide different qualities and different successes, I guess, different attributes. And so you can never say she was actually poor. Like, she's always been Marta. She's always been brilliant. But I think the players surrounding her is what makes her great as well. And I think that she has somewhat of a resurgence in her, in the sense of she has this quality about her, this leadership ability to want to take the team on her back and to want to be a liaison between the coaching staff and the players, and really show how to be successful to a lot of these younger girls. So I think she has this role now, because before maybe there were too many leaders on the team. There was me, there was Alex, there was Sydney, there was who else? I don't know. You guys would know more than me at the time. Besides the point, like, there were a lot of leaders on the team where maybe it wasn't as prominent for her to step up in a position that she is in now. And so I think being a connector in midfield too, to provide Banda with the opportunity to, you know, play in the front line and be this leader in the front three has been really exciting too. You know, she's providing her service, and I think that is something that maybe wasn't always there in the past. And so she's kind of taking over this role as a connector in midfield, and also has a great relationship with Seb, because he's been there since day one in 2017. It was our defensive coach when I was still there, and that was his first year, and that has kind of built over the years and built a really good relationship with her. So now they have a great connection. And so you kind of see that now implemented into the team. And I think that is something that is really needed in a lot of teams, almost every team.
Sam, you had to guard her. Like, what the fuck was that like?
Oh my God. I have told this story before,
Guard.
but
You had a guard.
I remember.
Play against her?
I remember. I know.
You don't defend.
You were guarding her.
Guard. You gotta guard her.
I remember playing against Orlando in North Carolina, and Marta was dribbling at me down the field, and I just was
Foul.
like, what would Sue call this? I just was backing up, letting her.
Backing up,
Just
yeah.
backing up.
Backing
Basketball
up.
term. I know. Just letting her come at me because I just was
Retreat.
Retreat. Yeah. Watch the fast break. I don't know. Just letting her come because I was like, the second I step, I'm gonna get megged, and I can't be getting megged by Marta. So like, just keep coming, and I let her dribble 35 yards, and eventually, I had enough help that she had to pass it, and I consider that a victory. So when I had to guard Marta, I won.
Guard, please.
And I won.
Marta,
I didn't get anywhere
that's not
near.
true. I'm sorry.
I would never get anywhere near.
No.
That's not my job.
So now that you both are in media, quickly, Ali, like, how do you like being media now?
It's fine. It's good.
It's different.
Listen, okay, I miss the game so much. I miss more the locker room than actually chasing 20-year-olds around, so you miss me with that. But like I miss the locker room a lot. I miss having automatic friends. Like that was really nice to just like talk your shit every day, which we still do, but it's fine. I miss that, but you know, the enjoyment of the transition of just talking soccer has been easier than I think just, you know, going maybe being a plumber. I don't know. Nothing against plumbing.
You're not qualified to be a plumber.
They probably make more money than we
We talk
do.
about
Women doesn't
NARPs
want
on
you.
our show, so.
They don't want me, yeah. But no, you try to perfect a sport, which you understand, for 30 plus years. And so why kind of veer away from that and do something else? And so I think the transition into broadcasting was more natural for me. And so I found a home with ESPN, and I've really enjoyed that, and also Gotham FC, and being an ambassador for them and representing the club on the highest stage, which I don't take lightly. And so I'm really proud to do that, and it's been good. Yeah, it's been great. It's been tough to talk and criticize your former teammates. Good thing a lot of them have retired this year. But that's probably the hardest part. But it's also just enjoyable to talk soccer, and I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, we were going to ask you. So
Yeah.
how are you finding it?
I think it is stuff like this. I agree. I miss the locker room the most. I actually saw some of my Kansas City Current friends today, and there was this moment, this is gonna sound so stupid, where we all like huddled up in a hug. And like the last time I've huddled up in a hug with 6 other of my friends was like last time I played soccer. So like, I miss that so much. But coming here and getting to do something like this is media, but this is our team. And like, you do just kind of have to like adapt who your team is. And it's been a huge challenge, but I've grown a lot. It's very hard to criticize my friends, which is why I'm always like, thank God my friends are so good, because I don't know what I'd say if my friends weren't good. I'd be like, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that play.
Must have missed it.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge.
Raj,
but
take that.
yeah, I think that question was for Raj, yeah. I'm super grateful to be getting to do stuff like this. It's so cool. I mean, we had some incredible guests on our show last night, and you stay connected to the game through this. And fortunately, everybody's been extremely receptive and supportive. And so it has been fun and hard and weird and different and everything.
Well, you guys are killing it. And before you go, though, we do have one game. You said being on this panel's cool. You haven't done a rapid fire yet.
Let's go.
Bring it.
Sue's ruthless.
This one's for all 3 of you.
Are we
Do I need
racing?
to scoot my seat over
Soccer
to this
on
side?
that side. Soccer on that side.
Oh, I
Get
thought you were
over
going to come
here.
sit right on the couch with us. Oh, my God.
Right in the middle.
Even better. Yeah, squeeze
Get
right
your
in.
fringe
God.
over here. Get your...
There's
Look
your
at
huddle.
that. Sorry, my hips are...
Three-person
My hips
huddle.
are in there.
We're there.
All right, you ready? Yeah. Reminder, rapid fire.
Are we racing?
No. I'm going to go one by one, but it's just like quick answers. Quick answers. First thing that comes to mind. This will be easy. Okay, down the line. Personal favorite NWSL moment.
Winning the championship last year against Seattle.
Well, my Achilles says you're welcome. There she is. She's down there. Scoring a free kick against Portland and going over and absolutely just like being an asshole and gloating, and then fans giving me double birds back. It was the best.
I scored a banger in 2019 at Portland. It was so sick. And we ended up winning the whole thing. It was pretty sick.
Yep.
All right, Sam, starting with you. Personal favorite national team moment.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Winning the World Cup, chest bumping Megan Rapinoe. Are you kidding me? Winning the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know if I can like say one moment. I mean, I did score a goal in the final. It's either like going back in the locker room. I loved you coming on. I loved lining up, Rose scoring, all
Rapid
of us.
fire, rapid fire.
2019 World Cup.
Real original. I already said that.
I think for me personally, 2011 last PK against Brazil.
So good.
All right, we'll go back this way. Ali, favorite U.S. women's national team kit? Uniform. Isn't that what you call it, a kit? Yeah. I'm trying.
No, great job. Okay. Yeah. I think the like kimono number was
Really? Okay. You raised your arms up and the whole thing came up?
okay. This is my.
Yeah, I just have questions.
The collar white, light like red stripe. Number. The white collared with little red stripes.
Okay. Megan?
Yeah, the Waldo joint. No collar.
No, not that. That
This
wasn't
is
mine.
mine.
I know, but I know, but it's separate. You can't not agree. Ours are different.
No, I'm saying mine's the Waldo one.
Right, mine's not Waldo. It's the white with the collar.
Sam.
I'm just gonna say the popsicle ones to end it and move us on from this argument.
That's right.
Okay, favorite coach? Just kidding.
Tom Sermani.
Tom Sermani.
Okay,
Wooshka.
Sam, favorite teammate to play with?
Well, I'm not looking at either of you. I'm gonna say Lynn Williams, obviously.
We love Lynn. Lynn.
Get out of
Megan?
here.
You know her, you love her. Oh.
Megan?
No, it's fine.
By the way, she knew these
I'll
questions.
go get over it. It's fine.
I know, I looked at
You're acting like this.
Don't feel pressure.
I did really love it because you
No,
always
don't
had
feel
good
pressure.
jokes.
Don't feel pressure.
The answer's
I won't
Cheney.
get offended.
Yeah, honestly, Cheney.
I
Yeah,
know.
talking about service.
I know.
Woo! We never even got to have her in the
Ali?
right position.
Probably Hale.
Oh! Bring her up! Bring her up! Bring her up! Bring her up! Get up here! Get up here!
I didn't. She was my roommate. Well, you were my roommate too, but.
Bring her up! Bring her up! Bring her up! Bring her up! Favorite kit? Favorite kit?
Right
Rapid
side,
fire.
strong
Centennial.
side.
Because I'm class.
Right side, strong
You are.
side.
The Centennial.
Favorite
all day
moment.
long.
Favorite national team moment.
My cross to Alex in
Epic.
Olympics. Abby's pass was terrible.
Terrible.
Don't tell anyone.
I
Wasn't
had
her
a
strong
whole
suit.
ass
Don't
to
tell
keep it
anyone
in
that.
bounds. Hoofed it
Literally.
up to Alex.
Absolutely.
Hoofed it.
Favorite teammate?
Al.
Oh, love this. Love
Kind of
this,
had to
love
do
this,
that
love
one.
this.
Okay, now we're going back
hung together for a
down.
long
Next
time.
question. Hardest opponent to play against?
Probably Brazil. Fucking hated it.
You caught them in their prime. 2004,
Toughies.
2007, 2008.
Toughies.
Ali?
Do you need us to repeat the question?
No, I mean we beat everybody, so Brazil probably too. Yeah, Marta was a handful. So
Japan.
Christiani in her prime.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cristiano in your prime was something else. Japan. I mean, you just ran.
Japan, playing against Japan was such a nightmare, but literally, I'm not just saying this because of all these legends on the stage. Training was always worse than games.
Facts.
France was.
Okay,
They
so
always shed the bed, though.
this might take a minute, but I think you're all engaged. We're a little over time. It's fine. We are going
Don't
to
move.
build our best 11 right here, right now.
It's hard.
Our best U.S. 11. How we're gonna do this, y'all are in a 4-3-3.
Yep.
And how we're gonna do this is I'm gonna name the position, and you're just gonna name your fave.
Oh, I love
Name the position, name your fave. So on
Wait,
and so
are we
forth.
talking like we have played with these
Played
people.
with.
and
No,
they could
whatever.
Be like,
Oh, you have to
they
played with
could be
them.
Like
Okay,
old
played with.
ghosts.
Played with.
Played with.
Played with.
Otherwise, it's too
Yeah,
many
otherwise
people.
it's a lot.
It's impossible.
Like we're not pulling Michelle.
You're gonna be Michelle Akers.
Out.
That's what I was thinking. No, she's off the table. Shout out Michelle. Okay, you're in a 4-3-3. You ready? We're starting over here, Heyo. Goalie.
Goalie.
Hope so.
Okay, what's
Goalie. Everybody's gonna go to a goalie.
yeah?
You're gonna pick your
Alyssa.
Alyssa for me.
Alyssa.
We are.
Penn State.
All right. Apparently, a sweeper is now called a center back. Center back.
Reeves, Becky Sauerbrunn.
Christy Rampone.
Reba.
Reba. Reba.
Okay. The stopper, the other center back.
Stop her.
Listen, this is what I know.
I love you.
Yeah, sorry, Christy Rampone for me. The other one.
Amy LaPelvet.
Nice one.
Thank you.
I mean, Christy based on hardware, but I'm gonna throw Naomi in there because that bitch is good.
Got Sam thinking now.
Sonnet.
Oh, good one.
Sonnet. Thank you. I'm going to talk about her for a second. Emily
one.
Sonnet is so annoying to play against.
Yeah.
Being on her small-sided team was the best thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life.
Yes.
Me and Sonnet would claw each other's shirts off each other's backs to try to get the ball from each other. Like, it was wild. You want to be on her team. Emily Sonnet. That's all.
Honestly, the other day we were watching the
that.
game and I was like, Megan, is Sonnet that player that, you know, you love to play with and hate to play against? And it was like, yep.
First on my team sheet.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go start this way now, Sam. Right back.
If you're listening to this on audio only, I've been pointing to Krieger the whole time.
Yeah, it's Krieger. Lockdown.
You gotta say yourself.
Listen, you don't have to.
I already did. You don't have to, but I did.
Love it.
All right, Kelly.
Love it.
No longer her favorite teammate.
I'm just kidding. It's
I probably would have picked Kelly. So we're
Okay.
good.
Left back.
Why am I forgetting everybody? All right.
Choops? What do you mean?
Oops. Lori Klepny, that's a shout. That's a
Choops was good.
I mean, Crystal is
Period.
obviously very, very, very
Period.
good.
Moving on.
I feel like we fair enough have some recency bias, right? Yes. And which is fair. But Choops, Lori Klepny, very, very good left back.
Kriegs.
Yeah, Choops.
Chips.
Crystal Dunn. I played more with her, and woo, Crystal was good.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm saying Crystal, subgroup 2019 World Cup, me, Pino, Crystal, left-hand side.
You can tell the generations.
Okay, we're taking it to the midfield, Sam. The 6.
Julie Ertz, I think. I'm just naming the whole 2019 World Cup team. It's just that was the best day of my life, you guys. Keep coming back to me. I'll keep saying it.
Day of my life.
Well, she's not really a 6, but he did play the 6 for us. Cheney.
Hands down. No, like, no question. The best midfielder still to this day and hasn't played in years. Cheney. That's it.
Facts.
Like, that's it.
Shannon Box.
Good one.
She's a G.
She could also be the 8.
You had a whole life before us.
No, she was a true 6.
True 6.
Like, we're the same
I was
age,
an
but Haley
early
had a
bloomer.
whole life before us.
I was an early bloomer.
All right, Megan, we're gonna start with you at the 8.
Just kidding, Sam.
I was literally not even considering myself in this question. I'm gonna go out there, branch out, Denise O'Sullivan. Thank you.
Wait, aren't we going American players?
Not our team.
U.S. national team?
We did say
We said our
American.
national team.
Well, obviously
I said
Lindsay. Obviously Lindsay.
We love her.
Allie.
No, Sam Mewis. Like, honestly.
Tower of Power.
I loved when I played when she was also there. Just knowing that she was in the right places at the right time and always knowing that if I could give her the ball, she would hold it up no
We're not
matter
doing
how many
analysis.
players were around her.
Heyo?
Janie.
Probably 2
Janie's
times.
my box to box.
Good pick. All right, Ali, back to you. The 10.
I would say Rose Lavelle.
Megan?
Yeah, Rose.
Obviously.
Sam?
Obviously, that's what I was gonna say too.
What old player are you picking?
Carly Lloyd.
Okay.
Yeah, she was good there too. She was more like
Carly's very good.
really good.
Carly
Lots
was
of goals,
very
lots of
good at
assists.
soccer.
No wrong answers,
I know.
folks.
Carly was very good at soccer.
All right, now
It's
we're
between her and Rose.
Yeah, you're
Between
right.
her and Rose.
we're moving
You're
it
right.
up to the forwards.
You're right.
Okay, Megan, we'll start with
Don't
you.
tell her.
Left winger.
Me. I want to be on the field.
Sam?
I agree.
Heyo?
Yeah, Pino.
Ali?
Yeah.
Tobin was a freaking good player.
So good. No wrong
Tobinho.
answers. Dance on them.
Give it up for Tobinho.
We love her.
Yeah, but Tobes could play both.
You can do both.
This is not about me, but it
You're
always
saying the right side for
blows my mind how in soccer you could be great at a position and not get to play it because somebody else is playing it who maybe isn't as good as you, but they need to be on the field too, and then they move you. It's so weird. Okay. Hey, we'll
Doesn't
start with
relate
you.
to any of us.
I said it's not about me, but center forward.
Whew. Abby Wambach. Let's be real, Abby couldn't juggle the soccer ball 5 times.
Actually.
But overall, she's the best center forward that we have produced.
Ali?
What?
She got shit done.
It's so hard. Baby horse. It's Alex for me.
Alex for me.
Sam?
I barely played with Abby, so I'm going Alex too and keeping my 2019 World Cup roster going strong.
All right, finish us off then. 2019 roster. Who was on the right?
Tobin, right? Yeah, Tobin was on the right. I love playing with Tobin. I also love playing with Press. Me and Press, I don't know if anybody knows this, we were on a great assist to each other pattern that I really appreciated. I felt like I was in on something.
Megan, right winger? Yeah.
Big Heyo.
Ayo!
I'm calling it out. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Hands down, Hale.
We love you.
No, you stop.
Hands down, Hale.
Tobinho.
You made me look so good.
Who you got?
Tobin.
Tobin.
No, Heyo. Platypus.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. Their fave 11 from the U.S. national team, Ali, Sam, Meg Linehan, and now Heyo. Thank you guys so
Surprise.
much for joining us. Thank you for joining us at A Touch More Live, and thank you again to Google Pixel for bringing our stage to life tonight. Google Pixel continues to support women's sports as the presenting sponsor of the 2024 NWSL Championship game. That's it, everybody. Thank you for coming. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. The best.
We had such a great time in Kansas City. Thank you to everyone who came out to see us for the live show. Google Pixel was such a great partner for this
Amazing,
and
yeah.
making it all come together. We had so much fun. We've also been playing around with Gemini live on the Google Pixel, and it's been so helpful in some questions that we've had. We were thinking that we might put this little piece of tech to work in trying to really kind of solve and put to rest some of our most epic and contentious bickers of the week.
We're going to throw some doozies.
It better be on my side is all I'm going to say.
The bicker of the week. It's the bicker of the week. When your partner's being sleek. It's the bicker of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit it.
You ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. The tortilla. This really has been our most contentious one for a very
I know.
long time.
I'm gonna know everything I need to know about Gemini in this moment.
Okay. Hi, Gemini. What tortillas are better, flour or corn?
That's a tough one, since the best tortilla really depends on your tastes and what you're making. Some people like the classic corn tortilla for tacos, while others prefer the softer, chewier flour tortilla for burritos. What kind of dish are you thinking about?
Well, we're thinking about making breakfast tacos for this particular time.
In that case, corn tortillas might be your best bet. They have a sturdier texture that holds up well to all those yummy breakfast fillings. Plus, they have a great corn flavor that pairs perfectly with eggs and cheese. You could warm them up in a dry skillet or even in the oven for a minute or two to make them extra pliable.
What do you think? I feel like it's pretty clear. I mean, it's corn, like I said. Like I've been saying.
Next.
I'm glad we got that one solved. Thanks, Gemini, for solving that bicker of the week. Moving on. All right, we're going to call back to an earlier bicker. How best to load the dishwasher. We're going to bring in Gemini. Let's settle this once and for all. All right, hi, Gemini. What are some tips I didn't know about how to load a dishwasher?
Okay, here's one you might not know. Glasses go upside down on the top rack. This lets water drain out of them instead of sitting there and potentially leaving spots. Also, if you have a utensil basket, try loading spoons and forks with the handles up and the tines down. It helps them get cleaner.
I didn't know that.
Makes
Should
sense.
I rinse stuff before putting it in the dishwasher, or does it not matter if I rinse it before?
Generally, you don't need a pre-rinse if you have a modern dishwasher. But if you've got stuck-on food bits, it's a good idea to give them a quick spray. This saves your dishwasher from having to work extra hard.
Sounds like you don't have to clean them before putting them in there.
But you don't want it to work extra hard.
What? Exactly.
Is our dishwasher considered modern?
Absolutely.
We got it
Barely
last
figure
year.
out those buttons.
Oh, I can't figure out at all.
Our
It
dishwasher's
did actually
so
take
cool.
me a long time to figure it out.
It shows the clock on the floor.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Gemini. Do you know who Megan Rapinoe is?
Yes, Megan Rapinoe is a well-known American soccer player. She's a two-time Olympic gold medalist and two-time Women's World Cup champion. She's known for her skill on the field and for being a strong advocate for social justice causes.
How should Megan Rapinoe load the dishwasher?
No.
Megan Rapinoe is a great soccer player, but I don't think she's got any special tips on loading the dishwasher.
What if I'm Megan Rapinoe and I prefer to rinse the dishes first before putting them in the dishwasher?
If that's what you prefer, Megan Rapinoe, then by all means, rinse away. Everyone's got their own way of doing things, and that's totally fine.
Thank you for validating her, Gemini.
Thank you, Gemini. Thank you for the words of affirmation and the validation, as you said. I did not win that bicker, though, and that is disappointing for me.
Modern dishwashers for the win.
Tough.
You're stuck in the, I don't know.
All right. Thanks, Gemini.
The
We'll be coming
80s.
back to you. And that's it for this episode, everybody. See you next week. Thank you to L'Oréal Paris for supporting A Touch More. The best gift you can give to a loved one is a reminder of their own worth. L'Oréal Paris has been reminding women that they're worth it for decades. This holiday season is your chance to share the message by gifting your favorite L'Oréal Paris products to the people in your life. Whether it's a Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer to firm and brighten, or Lumi Glotion for the perfect sun-kissed glow in the middle of winter, now you can give the gift of confidence. Send L'Oréal Paris products to those you love. You can find your new favorite L'Oréal Paris products on Amazon.com.